doesn't want to be part of the United States. She knows, she's from Texas. But when it comes to, let's say, sports, war, Texas identifies with all of America, correct? The rare time. Now suppose there's a siege on North America. Then America will identify with Canada and Mexico as well, correct? They identify higher. They love higher. Canada and the United States have the longest undefended border. Imagine Canada and America had to erect fences and wires like they do between America and Mexico, or now I think it's Hungary and whatever, Serbia. Both countries would be bankrupt. We're huge countries, correct? But Canada and America, they love each other. Let go of that word, but they identify with each other, you know, as the largest trade partners, as having similar cultures. Right? You can be a Canadian student and come to residency here without any formal testing. But if you come from a Caribbean country, you need to go through a lot of testing. Now imagine the same with yourself. That is what the vision of religion is. Right now we believe we're small. I'm only the body, sometimes I'm the mind. And so we live dependently. We live in fear. And that is not okay. It is not okay to be afraid. But this requires philosophy and practice. Religion is not just philosophy, but it is also practice. It's not just theory, it's theory and application. How many of you are studying engineering? A few of you. Another school. I met a professor there. His teaching, his job, is to train engineers in how to work with teams. Because engineers get so tunnel vision, such tunnel vision about numbers and figures and all that, that they just don't know how to interact with people. Generally. Okay, I'm not saying the people here, but generally. Correct? So much theory, but little application. Even for all of the business students here. After you finish your undergraduate degree, what do they encourage you to do? Go and work. Go and apply all of the theory you had. Then come back and get your application reconciled. Get it refined. Theory and application. See, the application means you change. And that's why people are very attracted to the word spirituality, because you don't have to change. But religion is a more frightening word because it means you have to change. What this practice is practice of virtues. Practice being more compassionate. Practice. I take young adults to Bharat with me every winter. And I take them to the real Bharat. That means no cities and no family. Delhi and Philadelphia are not that different. You know, on the surface they're different, but deeper down they're not. It's the same traffic there, same traffic here. Same shopping there, same shopping here. Right? There it snows dust, here it snows ice. But they're not that different. And then you go visit family and you go meet hundreds of people that you don't know. And you have to eat at everyone's house. And if you're skinny, they think you're sad or sick. Right? So eat more, eat more. So I take our young adults to the villages, to the ashrams. And it's totally different in thinking. So I tell them about 4 very important C's. 3 they're not allowed to do, 1 they're supposed to do. The first C that they're not allowed to do is, what is the C that your parents always told you not to do when you were younger? Don't complain. Correct. First C is no complaining. Second C, if you're in a relationship, be very careful about practicing the second C with your significant other. Don't criticize. If you're going to criticize your significant other, make sure you compliment them twice before you criticize them. You're great, but. Don't just put the but there. Or tell them they're great twice and then something they can improve. So no complaining, no criticizing. And the third C, no crying. Unnecessarily. Okay? If you're crying out of joy, you're crying out of devotion, yeah, cry more. But if you're crying because you didn't get enough salt in your food, no crying. But the only way to not practice these 3 C's is if you practice this. Be content. A content person doesn't complain, doesn't criticize, doesn't cry. Practice virtues. That is happiness. We have these esoteric ideas of, I'm going to get enlightened. Then I'm just going to float around. I'm going to glow. People will be attracted to me. I'll read people's minds. I'll know where to invest in stocks before anyone else does. That's illegal. Enlightenment is being independently happy. I forgot the quote. All of us want to be happy forever, but we keep forgetting to be happy now, isn't it? But if you're happy now, and you're always happy now, that means you are happy forever. See, it requires that. Let go of that academic thinking. Take on the transformational thinking. I want to be happy tomorrow. If we've learned anything from the James Bond movies, now the new Inspector, I think, is coming out. Tomorrow never dies. If you're going to be try to be happy tomorrow, it's going to be another tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's going to be another tomorrow. Practice virtues. You know those mornings when you get up on time? You know those mornings when you get up ahead of time? And you have a nice shower, you prepare a nice breakfast, you actually read something that's not related to your school, you walk instead of taking the bus. Those days of discipline, aren't you happier? Don't you feel better about yourself? It's a more productive day. See how discipline is happiness. It's not something that you can't touch. You can touch it. Practice of virtues.